Hello and welcome back to the Transform Awards Europe 2026. Well, I'm joined now by Patxi Fernandez, who is the General Director at Move Branding. Now, Patxi, you guys have been shortlisted in 3 categories with 3 different projects for tonight's awards, which is very exciting. But first of all, I think I'd want to know a little bit more about Move Branding. So perhaps you can tell us about the philosophy you guys adopt at your agency when working on brand design projects.
For us, a branding project has been always a closed project where you are trying to develop personality for a brand to compete in different kind of markets. So it means for us that we need to have like a boutique philosophy, extremely closed from our clients' objectives. And I think that our philosophy, it's always about trying to become a member of those clients, a team with them, and then to developing the best branding strategies and, of course, identities possible.
Absolutely. And one of the clients you're shortlisted with let's try it again.
No worries.
And of course, one of the clients that you're shortlisted with for tonight's awards is Crown. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about them and what they do.
Yeah, Crown, I think that that's a great example of the kind of projects that Move Branding is developing. It's a B2B market. They are a factory. They do like smelting big ovens for aluminium. And that's like extremely industrial company. And for us, these kind of projects are extremely interesting projects. Are not consumer goods. Are not in the public sector. It's like extremely and tough and rough industrial sector. And developing a kind of brand that you could use in consumer trends, but in the industrial ones, it's like I would say that it's like a great challenge. And in this case, they had like an old style visual identity, industrial, and we gave them a new style on non-conventional identity for industrial sector.
That's fantastic. And that philosophy you described, how did you take that into this project when developing the visual identity?
I would say that for us, the strategy phase, this is the first one that we develop with them, where we try to develop the personality of the brand. It's a teamwork phase. And for us, in this case, we went to Madrid. They are close to Madrid. And we spent quite a lot of hours and days and even weeks, I would say, trying to understand the meaning of the brand, trying to understand the markets and their economic objectives. And after that, I think that when you are too close from your client in this phase of a strategy phase, it's much better to develop a great work than if you don't do that.
Absolutely. And moving on to a second client, so We Artificial, really interesting company, obviously based in AI. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about them and how challenging it was, developing this identity in such a nascent sector.
I would say that case is completely different from Crown. Here we have a lot of engineers there in the company, and of course they are not used to apply a lot of visual and new graphic styles. They just want the code and things like that because their minds are more engineering minds. But we went to, in this case, to Barcelona because they are based in Barcelona, and we tried to convince them that we had to push a little bit the brand and to make a more, I would say, soft brand, not so hard, not so technological, more human, because this is artificial intelligence, so why not to have like a human spirit behind the brand?
Absolutely. And in terms of the visual identity itself, how did you balance that sense of humanity with the fact that they are, an AI-based firm?
I think that Nowadays, I don't know in the near future, but nowadays behind the artificial intelligence there are humans. So let's focus on those humans that are trying to push this new technology. So I think that this brand, it's focused on the humans that are behind the brand.
Fantastic. And just moving on to the final client that you're shortlisted with at tonight's awards, Espatio.
Yeah.
Really interesting organisation. Maybe you can tell me a little bit about them.
They are a big group of furniture company based on Sevilla. As you can see, we have worked 3 projects. One is from Madrid, based in Madrid, the other one based in Barcelona, and the third one, Espatio, based in Sevilla. So we have covered all the Spain. And in this one, it's like soft seating company, soft seating furniture. And it was amazing because even if they do soft seating with some Nordic style, they had clear the idea of becoming a brand with Andalusian spirit. And then we tried and we worked with them to become this brand like an Andalusian icon on soft seating sector. And that's why the name is Patio. Patio is like the central place of a normal house in Andalusia where a lot of things happen. Espatio is from Spain, Espatio. We talk a lot with them, and if you see the identity, a lot of Andalusian colors, Spanish colors, a lot of icons from this part of Spain. And I think that this brand has like a great Andalusian spirit and modern style from their soft-sitting furniture style.
That's super. It's such a stunning visual identity that you guys were able to craft. But what did you find to be the biggest challenge along the way?
In this project, I would say always for us the biggest challenge is the naming. And in this project, we had to develop different proposals of namings. And for us, was like a project where we had the opportunity to express the personality of the brand from the beginning of the brand, from the naming. That's why we decided, after a big process, to jump with Patio, Espatio, because it means for us and for them a lot in Andalusian culture. The patio is a place where you sit down with your friends and you talk and you share a lot of things. So I would say that the naming of this project was the most important part.
Well, Patxi, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure, and best of luck at tonight's awards.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be here.